Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Fortune Records. Fortune Records was a small label, largely more predominantly known for soul, R&B, what have you, before Motown coming out of Detroit. That being said, it was home also to numerous different genres, including everything under the gun: orchestra, polka, uh, jazz. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. It started off with bluegrass and country to a certain degree. It actually went from being predominantly white label to more predominantly black label. Let's start things off here. First thing I have here is the Davis Sisters with Jealous Love. Flip side on that is actually a different artist, Roy Hall, Going Down the Road, Feeling Bad. Really good early bluegrass cut. Next up, this is actually a repro. The Fortune Records label is known for having a very strange numbering system, but right now we're going with these brown labels. This is number 209. That first one was 170. This is the Tennessee Harmony Boys with I'm a Millionaire. Really great track there. And the flip on that is A Lonesome Feeling. Next up, we got John Henry by the Windy Mountain Boys. This is definitely a bluegrass track. Flip to that is High, Wide, and Handsome. And that was 223. Next up, we have The Pill by Wendy Smith. Wendy Smith's actually a male. This is bluegrass. This is 233, and the flip is Carolyn. Next up, switches to a green. Is much later. Like I said, the numbering is very difficult in this label, but well worth the time to dig into this label because almost everything in this label is gold. So Wendy Smith with Carter Stanley and Savior Guide Me on F355, but listed also as 230. Hard to even say where that falls in line. Next up, Fortune Records was known for three predominant artists. Nolan Strong and the Diablos, who of course would be a large influence on Smokey Robinson of Motown fame, pretty much half of Motown. Also Nathaniel Mayer and the Fabulous Twilights, and last but certainly not least, Andre Williams. Let's start in here with the Diablos. These are a lot of purple, but there'll be various degrees of colors here. So this is 45, number 510, the Diablos with An Old-Fashioned Girl. Flip on that is Adios, My Desert Love. That's a really early one. As you can see, my copy's pretty beat up. Next up, we have what the Diablos is most famously known for from the doo-wop era, which is The Wind, 511. Flip to that is Baby Be Mine. Really haunting doo-wop track. Highly recommend. It's always on every doo-wop list in the top 20, usually towards the bottom there. Next up, we got Just Shake and Move by the Diablos. That's on 518, and the flip is The Way You Dog Me Around. Next up, got a second copy of that. This is on purple. Actually found this in my hometown, Ukiah, California. The other one was a brown, reddish copy there. Next up, we got You're the Only Girl, Dolores. And flip on that is You Are, kind of boring name there. That's 519. Next up, Nolan Strong and the Diablos again, 536. Since You're Gone and What You Gonna Do. Next up, back to a purple label. There's been a few blue in there. This is 532. If I, oh, I. Remember, I found this in Ann Arbor, I believe, somewhere in Michigan. And I want to know. Really great cut. Super upbeat there. Next up is probably the second most famous by Nolan Strong, the Diablos. I have quite a few different colored copies of this I'm going to be showing in rapid succession. And that is 546, Mind Over Matter. And Beside You. There's another one. Again, blue. Now we have a pink one. Apparently it's a smash, according to that label right there. So a smash. And then we have kind of a reddish copy, not pink, red. And then lastly here I have one similar. This is actually who I think Nolan Strong would go on to. This is not a Fortune. This is the Velvet Angels, I'm in Love. This was Strong's later band. As you can see there, Strong. So essentially it went from the Diablos into the Velvet Angels. Next up, we have the Fabulous Twilights. This would be probably one of the bands that would get Fortune their biggest hit, which is the one up next here, Village of Love. And I make a special point to point out the B-side, I Want a Woman. This would go on to be one of the Fortune's biggest hits. It would sell to United Artists, and which is why we see this UA right here. That's because it was also licensed for United Artists. Again, here in pink, we have I Want a Woman. That's the same as Village of Love. You can see I bought this copy from Craig Moore. Big eBay seller. Next up, we have Hurting Love. And the flip to that is Leave Me Alone. And that's $4.87. I haven't been doing the numbers, but hopefully that's not getting anyone in a tizzy. Next up, we got $5.50 with Nathaniel Mayer and the Fabulous Twilettes. Well, I've got news. Oddly enough, the backside is Mr. Santa Claus. Here's a later day cut on Norton. Same artist, Nathaniel Mayer. Right in my 225. It's even made to look like a Fortune, but as you can see, it's Norton. Thought I'd include that as well. Next up, we got Andre Williams. Quite a few cuts. He started off in a doo-wop group. The doo-wop group was known as the $5. That's My Baby-O. This was a re-release. Next up, something that is really famous for it. They got put out by Epic, actually. This is the original Fortune Bacon Fat. Also covered by Doug Sam, who was in, what was this? I can't think of the band right now, but famous psych band out of San Francisco. Doug Sam, of course, originally out of Texas. And this is that band, Sir Douglas Quintet. There it is, covering Bacon Fat. Next up, controversial one, Jailbait by Andre Williams. Kind of the lyrics were stolen by the Rolling Stones, actually. One lyrical phrase, I should say. Next up, Andre Williams' Greasy Chicken. Andre Williams, of course, was kind of a character, you know, kind of a Clarence Reed blowfly type. Next up, I know I'm going through these quick. These must have been orange labels, still all Fortune. 842, we hear Hey Country Girl and My Last Dance with You. Then some not on Fortune, but by Andre Williams. We have My Sophisticated Lady, as you can see, written by Andre Williams, recorded by Geno Parks. He wrote a bunch of songs for people. Here's a bunch of more Andre Williams that aren't on Fortune, because I thought I'd include them all together. We have Give Peace a Chance. That is on Ronald Records. On Avon here, we have Rib Tips, Part 1 and 2, Andre Williams. Next up, we have Avon Hard Hustling and Soul Party a Go-Go. Sweet Little Pussycat on Wingate. That's a Detroit label. Flip on that is Loose Juice. On Sports Records, Pearl Time. Believe this is Detroit as well. And Soul Groove. Then on Chicago's own Checker, we have Cadillac Jack. Great track here. And Miss Mother USA. Next up, a song he wrote for a 60s group, Twine Time. As you can see here, Williams. Elvin Cash and the Crawlers. And the Bump is the flip on that. Next up, we have a few various different artists on Fortune. Maury Dean, I'll Take That Chance. And Catch You Later. Hurrying to try to get this through here. One I just picked up today. Armand Adams, The Storm, and The Flip. Diamond Pins and Broken Beads. Was really, 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 really impressed by that one. Next up, one you see a lot. I don't know how to quite categorize it. Del Vaughn, I Need You, and Garden of Love. Kind of almost crooner, I believe. Next up, we have some kind of titty shaker type style. Kenny Burrell and Ground Round with Rose of Tangier. Back again on the blue label there. It's 823. Then we have famous Beetle Walk by Dave Hamilton. You will not find one of those 45s with that Beetle part kind of canceled out, as you can see there. There was a sticker over that at one point because Beetle is spelled B-E-A-T-L-E. Next down we have a gospel track on Fortune, Bless My Home and Saints Go Marching In. That's the Gospel Believers. There was also a lot of gospel on Fortune. I know this has been a quick run through, but I had a lot of Fortune records, and hopefully leave a comment below like this. It's been a long time since I've done a video. No one has done a comprehensive video on Fortune 45s. There's much more to do. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much. This is DJ Think signing off for the Old Souls Club. Good night.